Aloha everyone, I'm making this video on intelligence LeveL. In response to my other videos I recently made about intelligence, people are writing in saying that, the human race is so much more advanced than the rest of the animals that gap has to be due to alien intervention, aka alien genetic modification of mankind. So this is simply not true, and let me explain to you why. You see, like I said before, intelligence is relative. So it's just like when you're in school and you heard the expression, we're going to judge the test upon a scale, which is adjustable to the level that you're at. So the scale of intelligence here on Earth is vast and varied from one extreme to the other, which is why even in each race there's extremes. Just like the human race, we have really smart people and we have, well, really dumb people. So like I was saying, this is why nature has its extremes within each species. Exactly like the human race, we have 9 feet tall people or 2 or 3 feet tall people. We have super skinny people that weigh less than 100 pounds and, huge gigantic fat men that weigh 500 plus pounds, like the extremes of little wimpy men and big, huge, strong muscle men. So this is why the genetics within mankind is so varied, from people that are genetically in shape and then those that are genetically not going to be in shape. And I'm not talking about the ability to work out and get in shape. No, I'm talking about the genetics. Either you were born with it or you weren't. So this is why the human species has black to white and all the shades in between, the humans, the men that are made from the colors of the earth. So we also have the male and the female, which are complete polar opposites, thus the variance of the species. Exactly like the level scale of intelligence. So like I said, we have primitive basic elements that are on the lowest scale of intelligence all the way up to the highest forms of life here on Earth and the highest forms on the scale of intelligence. But people are still writing to me saying, but Truthiracy, the huge gap of intelligence of mankind over the animal kingdom is enormous and has to be due to alien intervention, and they're modifying our intelligence. But this is simply not true whatsoever. Okay, I want you to think about the most primitive forms of life here on Earth. And supposedly all life comes from the elements or rocks and soil and dust. So therefore think about the huge, gigantic gap between a rock and the most fundamental forms of life. And like I said, even within a species, look at the variance of one extreme to the other. Like plants, you have the basic forms of like algae, and then you even have more advanced plants, even like the Venus flytrap. A primitive advancement of being able to actually capture its own vitamins and proteins and minerals. So the intelligent levels within species varies greatly, from basic swimming organisms all the way up to advanced swimming organisms. And these gaps in between are enormously huge. But it doesn't mean that some alien species had to come here and genetically modify the intelligence level of each of these species as they get smarter and grow. So just think about the vast gaps of intelligence throughout the animal kingdom. So if you sit down and you just relax and you think about what I'm saying, take the most basic form of life here on Earth, a basic intelligence level, and go all the way up to an ape or a monkey. Okay, don't even include us. That gap is gigantically huge. It is enormous, almost mind-boggling to even comprehend. So the gap of human intelligence above the other animals is actually, although it might seem huge to us, is actually not that vast. And the amount of the vastness that it is just like all of the other vast amounts throughout the other levels of the different types of intelligence found in the different types of animals. So what I'm actually saying is that Human intelligence is not some huge gap. It is to our perception, but in reality and relevance to intellect of all the animals on Earth, it's not a huge gap. It's the same gap that we find throughout all of life. Thanks for watching. Peace, love, and wisdom. Truthiracy.